Well, ladies and gentlemen, would you look at that, we have finished carton muck, and this time, this John Deere hasn't sprung a leak, isn't steaming, isn't trying to cook itself, and isn't trying to catch on fire. So I would deem that as a bit of a success. Welcome along, everyone. My name is Frank. As always, I do hope you are doing very, very well today. You join me here in the 7710. We had to take a little bit of a break from carton muck, but we're done. That's all from one shed clearing out there. There's a lot of muck there, so that's all done. We still need to go and do the farm 2. That needs to be taken care of at some point. Ideally, we might start that later on, but what we're going to do first is just move some straw around, actually. Before that, though, we're going to go back up to the main yard and have a look at the John Deere that cooked itself and see what that looks like in terms of the next steps for it. So we've done a bit of work on it. We're waiting for a few bits and pieces to arrive, and we'll see how we get on. But for now, away we go. It's still a beautiful couple of days, though. Since you last left, we've had some great winter weather. The sun's been out, there's been a nice wind, there's a little bit of a crisp frost in the morning. Absolutely glorious, it really, really is. So very thankful for that. And hopefully that'll continue. I don't want any snow, don't want any torrential rain or floods anywhere. I know a lot of people have been having those, so if we can avoid those, I'll be a happy man for sure. Okie dokie, around that corner we go. Fantastic stuff there. Yeah, we've got a few other bits and pieces to do, but we're running low on straw down at Farm 1 here at the Aldenwood, so we might bring it a little bit down from... So we are running a little bit slow, or a little bit low on straw from Autumnwood Farm. So we might bring some down in the trailer from Old Oak. But yeah, we're about to run out down here, which is never ideal, but it's where we're at really at the moment there. And the winter's only cracking on in. The idea was that we'd try and use all this reserve up first just to free up a little bit more space before we kind of leverage the straw shed following that little bit of a fire there. So yeah, we'll make the most of that where we can and see how we get cracking along. But that's the aim, to get that kind of split up a little bit. I'm going to try and introduce a bit of hay into the diet of the cattle up at Old Oak as well there. Those that are on the beef diet. We'll give them a little bit more dry matter in there as well, and see if that helps us to bulk them up a bit and see what the benefits are there. But yeah, that is the end of our straw really, so that's going to be about 2 days, I would say, 2 days worth. But what we'll do right about now that we have the space to at least, is just sneak this back into here. It's nice having the space for now that we can just bundle these trailers in out of the way. And then we'll worry about this later on. I like the boxing eye for Williams trailer. There's been a few of those going missing around here, so we just kind of I say not mine, but there's a few people in the area who had issues from visitors of the night, which we don't particularly want. Yeah, we'll just keep that one all boxed in there. Never get to it now. Fucking grand. Fantastic. And we'll just switch off the beast here, and let's go and have a look. So let's have a look at how everything is looking nice and tidy in this shed now. The calves are looking good. They're still producing muck though. Their calf pen does really get pretty messed up sometimes, so we do need to kind of keep on top of that one a bit more. But yeah, we're getting better in here. This is looking a lot tidier now. There's a lot of muck shift out there. There's a little bit more coming, but we'll get that later on. I'm not going to take another load down. Milk wise, we had the tanker arrive this morning. That took away a full tanker load from us here, and we should start to see some more checks coming through from the milk, which is going to be great, because yeah, I really want to see a bit more revenue coming in there as well. We're doing well with the individual little kind of distribution contracts that we have going for some of the small businesses around here, but we need to get the bulk of it away still. However, we've moved a few more bits of kit into here. We got this moved in. That wasn't easy, let me tell you. But we've got this guy. This is our beloved 6820, and yes, we had a bit of an issue. So what we found that was happening with this, we had a hose perish, like a return hose perish on the coolant system, so the water to come back into the radiator to be cooled, and it actually perished right next to the join where it connects on to the engine block itself there. So what was happening was that we had a water leak that I didn't notice, to be admittedly, there over some time, and then which meant that it was starting to boil the water even more as the temperatures were rising, and then it just effectively almost cooked itself. By the time we noticed we had steam pouring out down at the field, it was the damage had been done, really, I think. Now the radiator is fine. We've got a new pipe on there, that's okay. So I've tested it, we can hold water in there, okay, the system's fine, but we're just waiting for a few other seals to come in before we put it together. I think, and knock on wood as we say this, I think I've been able to survive it and avoid seizing the engine at all, or completely cooking it. It was a lucky escape. I think we caught it just in time. I actually had this towed back up almost in its current state, really. So that was not easy, but we got it back up here, which was important just so we could actually get it into the shed and get it looked into. So we have been, we're just waiting for a few seals to come in from the local dealership. We'll get those picked up there. We're going to make sure everything else is looking good. I'm going to be changing a few other pipes because none of them have been changed already. So all the rubber hoses there we're going to swap out whilst we've got this open here, because I don't want the same thing happening again and potentially not be quite so lucky next time. So that's kind of where we are. It's been it's other than that, it looks okay. Everything is looking good in terms of it doesn't look like there's any gasket damage which would have caused any of this. Looks like all good around the head there. There's plenty of movement on the crank as well, which means that everything is rocking over and turning over. There's no damage there, which is fantastic. Oil's looking good. There's no shards of anything in the oil there. We're going to drop the oil and change it out anyway whilst we're here. But I think it was just awfully lucky. So that's going to be it, really. It's undercover. We've got plenty of space to do it in here as well, which is good, and we'll get it all done. Just got to kind of hang on and wait for us to those bits and pieces to come in. So hopefully, I would like to think that we'll have it all ready to roll in a week or so. Just really got to wait for those few bits and pieces to come in, wait for some free time so I can actually get working with it, and then we'll get it all done. But lucky escape there with that, and I'm quite happy to see that it's still all there. And I'm not looking for a new tractor. That would have been pretty terrible. So what I think we're gonna do, there's a trailer up the top yard. In fact, they might both be up there. One's got fertilizer on it, I think. We'll take up the 77 again because it's here. And because we can. Now, there is still an awful lot of muck that we need to shift from the top. I don't know when we're going to get started on that. Maybe later on today. So with that in mind, actually, we'll just take this trailer back up for now. There is a trailer up there, but it's not very big. So I think it might make a bit more sense if we take this with us. There you go. Away we go. Yeah, up the hill we go there. Everything's looking good. The cattle are looking very well. Very clean now down here, at least. There's a huge mountain of muck that we need to get moving on, like I've touched on, but we'll start to make some inroads. I don't know where I'm going to put it all, though. That's the issue I'm facing at the moment. I don't have enough land to spread it on, and it's going to be an awful long haul, though. The new land that we have over in the east, that's a long way to take it, so I don't know if we're going to go all that way. I have to figure that bit out. But yeah, that's another problem that we'll cross to. Right now, it's just been taken out of the yard, really, and moved across into. Slow it down. There you go. And just moved into kind of a stack field, really. Well, we'll just keep it all heaped up out of the way. I can stay there for a little bit. I can stay there for a little bit, and then we'll spread it whenever we can. It's going to take a while to spread with just my spreader, but might have to see if I can get anybody else in to help. If that young lad's available again to come over at one point in the future. But I hope you're all doing very well. Do let us know down below what you're working on as always and what you're driving. Thank you for all the comments, questions and feedback with regards to the episode where we cooked the engine. It does seem like that was very well received there, and a lot of curiosity around that. Not much happening in this yard there at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. As you'll see, not much else is happening around here, really. It's just too cold to do anything in from a arable standpoint. There's no field work that we could do per se. The cattle or the livestock are all inside, and they're kind of the reaping the rewards of being inside at the moment as well. On a good diet in there as well. Milk production's still going up and up, which is fantastic to see. and we'll be hoping that will continue. Milk quotas are doing okay so far for the majority that we do sell direct to the dairy industry there. That's not looking too bad, and I hope that will continue that way. Yeah, so it's all interesting. Let's stop all that, and around we go. Perfect. Yeah, we haven't had any rain here for a while either, which is good, which means the river level on this side, it has dropped down nicely. It was getting a little bit high there following that last round of floods, but it's looking okay. Certainly is. And with the new John Deere as well, we're finding a nice little balance of how that's all working out. I am still expecting to receive a demonstration from a firm by the name of Robert, and they have front loader or telehandler mounted bale shredders, silage feeders, that kind of thing. So we're going to look to see what we can get there and have a bit of a play with them, because I am somewhat intrigued by that, I must say. I'd be very interested to see how that works and just kind of reduce the load a little bit on the old Massey there. I think would be a good way, a good thing to do for sure. Little spot there with the drill didn't work. That's annoying. 2 spots actually, I think. But aside from that, the barley that was put in there over the winter, over the back end of autumn, there doesn't look too bad. Yeah, look at the pile of muck in here. I've kind of heaped it up so we can get into it a little bit easier. But there is a lot. There is an awful lot. What we'll do, we'll just take this trailer and dump it out here. You can see we've already carted a little bit of it out there anyway, so there's a lot more to be done, that's for sure. No, I need to find the trailer, which is empty. One's gonna have seed on, I think, and the other one's got fertilizer on there still, so we'll get something worked out here. I'm actually looking into it at the moment. I don't quite believe I'm going to be doing this, but it does look like I might be getting some sheep in the spring. I don't know what's kind of finally tempted me towards it, but yeah, I think we could be getting a few sheep here just to keep a little bit of different rotation on the fields. So yeah, that could be a thing that happens, which would be quite unheard of for sure. It's definitely going to be a bit of a surprise. Now, what we might also do actually is take that trailer with the seed on away. Because we need to get that all sorted out. But yeah, we've got the fertilizer over here as well, so we just need to do a little bit of shaking around, a little bit of moving, and we can get this going. And then we'll probably take us a few bales of straw down on that seed trailer as well. Actually, that's the way to go, and we'll be looking good. Okay, forward we go. It is nice having that bigger JCB up here though. It does make some of the tasks, I didn't realise how, as much as I love that little Toyer, and just how much it was struggling sometimes until you get a bigger vehicle on there, then it's really quite apparent. So yeah, that's looking, it's much handier. Just scoot back through. So what I'm going to do is just get those pallets on the back shifted around a little bit, then we'll try and get a little bit of straw onto here as well with the JCB. And then we can get this load down to the bottom unloaded, and then yeah, probably back up here to get do a little bit of the muck shift. Before the end of the day is out though, we'll be bringing that John Deere back down with the Keenan feeder on, and we'll get that all moved around as well and get everything fed up down there as well. So lots to do, lots of moving and to and throwing, but we'll get a start with it and we'll catch up with you in just a little bit. Alright, and so we've got those pallets all shifted. We just put the forks back on because they're going to be a little bit easier to grab some bales of straw with, I think. It's not ideal, but the forks or the bale spikes are still down at the farm one, so I need to... One thing I do need to do now that I've got a bigger loader here is just sort out a few implements, make sure they're all in the right location, that we can use them properly and effectively. But for now, let's just get that going there. So we're probably just going to take a few bales down, just so we've got a couple more days. Obviously these quads have a little bit more, a lot more straw in them than the round bales we have down there. So we'll just start by probably taking 4, maybe 8 down if we can, as a good starting point, and then we'll see how we get on. Obviously it's going to be great next year because we're not going to have to worry too much about having to buy in any more straw. We're going to have plenty of our own here. Oh, and that's not worked out very well. But yeah, we just a little cautious that we might not have too much left here. Probably in hindsight there, selling some of it at Meadow Grove before we left wasn't the best idea. But the price was great, and you know, selling off some of that straw allowed me to pay off the cost of moving some of the other equipment over here. So you know, these are the things that you got to factor in there. Perfect. Excellent stuff. I don't know who the fencing contractor was when they came in here, but they've done a great job on the fences around these farms. They're absolutely brilliant. Okey-dokey. Yeah, we'll just get this all loaded up and then we should be away, I think. Elsewhere though, everything else is pretty much the same. There's not too much to report. The biggest news and update really was that the John Deere itself is going to, or the 6820 is going to be all good, fortunately. So I hope that's going to continue to be the case there. I think the rest of the work that we're going to do on it is just kind of more precautionary now that we're in the position to do it really well. So we've got the hood up there and it's been stripped down a little bit. It didn't really make much sense not to do it in my mind. So we'll get that done and then it will be back at it, back to the regular duties there, and hopefully ready to go. If the weather stays like it is and if the temperature kicks up just a few more degrees, I see no reason why shortly we won't be able to start thinking about some more groundwork for spring drilling, which will be great. And then that'll be a real nice weight off my mind. We've got a lot of acres to put in as spring cereal crops there, so it's going to be something we have to really get firing with. I'm not sure again if that's something that we can cover all entirely, almost exclusively on our own. I don't know if we need to get someone helping with that one, but it's certainly something we're going to try. So I think it'll be definitely interesting to see how that goes. There we go. So we might just put another 4 on there, I reckon. That'll just about do it. And that will be good. But you know, this spring we've got an awful lot of various different matter to spread. If it's slurry or muck, we've got to put down an awful lot of it. It'll be nice to be able to get a bit of a head start on that one. But yeah, at the moment we're just kind of stuck waiting really. Slurry we'll keep on putting down little bits here and there and taking advantage of the hard ground that we can get on with, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, muck, I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer. What I'm going to do before we go any further here is just actually strap that load down so that I don't knock anything off. That's grand. Okay. And we'll stick another 2 bales on after this too, and we'll be good. But I think what we'll do is probably just leave this here now, actually, so we can get cracking along, and then we'll bring you a bit more of an update later on in the week, where we've actually got a bit of not a treasure hunt. I know where there's something hidden that we haven't had a look at yet, and I want to go and drag that out and see what it's all about. So we will we'll do that, and I'll bring you along for the ride, and we'll hopefully find something quite interesting. But for now, we're going to leave it here, so thank you ever so much for watching. I have been Frank. This has been the latest episode of A Dairyman's Diary. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have and you've yet to do so, don't hit your own shed. That's the starting point. That beam won't last long for do that. But if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Simulation for the Nation. We'll see you all later on down the line. Until then though folks, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll catch you all in the next one. See you later.